Meet Myra. She's a proud new business owner. It had always been her lifelong dream to become an entrepreneur. A year ago, she opened a cozy little cafe in the heart of the city. Myra was on her way. She absolutely loved connecting with her customers. She couldn't get enough. Business was booming, when suddenly COVID-19 happened. What were the odds of a worldwide pandemic? And suddenly, as the pandemic raged all around her, Myra's business practically disappeared overnight. She had no choice but to close her doors and hope for the best. It was the hardest thing that she'd ever done. In 2020, as business owners, we know that our reputation is everything. And when it comes to our online presence, plenty of great online reviews are absolutely essential when it comes to how your customers and future customers view who and what you are. But things slowly got a little better with each passing week, and 3 months ago she was finally able to reopen her doors after being closed for nearly 4 months. And when she did, well, things had changed drastically. Once holding a solid Google review rating of 4.3 before COVID, much to her dismay, Myra's cafe had inexplicably plummeted over a full point during the pandemic. Like so many business owners, Myra was hands-on. She wasn't used to wearing so many hats, and unfortunately, she didn't allocate very much of her time into managing her online presence. So she took it upon herself to learn as much as she could about Google reviews, and how they affect her business, and ultimately, her bottom line. In January of 2020, Bright Local's consumer survey showed that 91% of consumers between the ages of 18 to 34 are big believers of online reviews, trusting them as much as personal recommendations. Their research also found that, on average, consumers require a business to have 40 online reviews before they believe its average star rating. A study published on Harvard Business Review found that for every 1-star increase a brand gets on Yelp, that business sees a 5 to 9% increase in revenue. Overall, consumers are more responsive to ratings if they contain more reviews, suggesting that the more detailed a review is, the more trustworthy it is. Research by the Spiegel Research Center reveals that the likelihood of a product getting purchased increases by 270% when it gets 5 reviews. The same Spiegel study found that reviews have a much larger effect on purchase likelihood when it comes to more expensive items. When reviews are displayed for higher-priced products, their conversion rate increased by 380%. In contrast, reviews shown for lower-priced products increased by 190%. Bright Local's Google Reviews study shows that the average local business that appears on Google has 39 reviews. Synup's recent State of Retail report found 82% of shoppers won't choose a retailer with less than 3 stars. So, while negative reviews can be helpful for discerning shoppers, too many and you risk losing business altogether. After conducting her research, Myra had lots to think about. Sure, she didn't want to just leave her business to chance, but at the same time, she didn't know where to even begin. She was already wearing a lot of hats and felt as though she was spreading herself too thin. And then one day, something popped up on her Facebook feed. Reputation rising. She clicked on the Facebook ad. Something that she never does, and she was intrigued to say the least. So much so, that the following day she scheduled an appointment. She didn't believe in coincidences. But a tiny voice inside of her told her that this was no accident and that there was a reason she had stumbled upon the Facebook ad. Reputation rising. Myra had never even heard of reputation management before, but she was determined to find out more. Myra was impressed the moment she stepped into the offices of Reputation Rising. They took their time to understand her unique circumstances and asked her a series of thought-provoking questions. Questions that made her truly contemplate about the way she ran her business and interacted with her customers. The series of questions that Richard asked her were a gut check, to say the least, but she was finally ready to address them. They were questions that had to be answered, if she was to ever take her business to the next level.
How do you deal with negative reviews? Are you able to implement any kind of damage control? Do you have the opportunity to make things right, to the customer's satisfaction, before their negative review is posted online? Have you ever felt that you've been the unfair recipient of a negative review? If so, what recourse, if any, were you able to take? What is your current protocol for dealing with dissatisfied or disgruntled customers? How much does a negative review impact your bottom line? What kind of incentive or reward or loyalty program do you have in place that virtually guarantees that your customers will provide your business with positive feedback or reviews? A program that will absolutely turn each one of them into raving fans.
They asked Myra about her business goals. They needed to determine if she was truly ready to take her business to the next level. And once convinced that she was, only then did their strategy session begin in earnest. They needed to devise a plan of attack, something that could be rolled out and implemented immediately. There were several things that Myra desperately needed. First and foremost, she had to dramatically increase the number of customers on her email list. Next, she needed to create a reward and loyalty program for the cafe and begin to engage with her customers on a regular basis via email and text messaging. With Reputation Rising's proprietary and Google-trusted software, they gave Myra a live demonstration. After seeing their software in action, she immediately understood how she would be able to rapidly gain more positive reviews while being able to stop a majority of negative reviews dead in their tracks. She learned how she would be able to confidently manage the occasional bad review in the most effective and efficient way possible. It was damage control at its finest. Myra was absolutely blown away. With the software's user-friendly interface, it was easy to see how she would be able to regain and take control of her business once more. She would finally be in the driver's seat. Reputation Rising showed Myra that with their seamless integration, the state-of-the-art software would be responsible around the clock for requesting, maintaining, and managing her customers' feedback and reviews after each visit. She also loved their strategic and structured plan of attack on how to explode her email list, increase social media engagement, all while building a customer loyalty program that truly rewarded her valued customers. Moving forward, she would be able to have authentic engagement with them, allowing her business to build and nurture real and long-term relationships, ultimately transforming her customers into raving fans. When the strategy session and onboarding process was finally complete, Myra felt a deep sense of peace and calm. She finally had clarity as well as confidence. She was completely empowered, excited and optimistic about her future. Myra's cafe was everything to her, and its reputation was priceless. 3 months later and business was booming. Myra's cafe had a new lease on life. Her online presence was stronger than ever and her Google and Facebook reviews were through the roof. As promised, Reputation Rising had come through with flying colors. Their proven system had garnered her many great reviews in just a few months, and Myra's reward and loyalty program was a huge hit all the way around. And on that rare occasion when Myra actually had a bad review, she was quickly notified. And more times than not, she was able to rectify the situation almost immediately. Before the negative review could actually make its way online, the software made staying in touch with her customers a breeze, and today, she's proud to call many of them her close friends. Myra's cafe has become a regular fixture in the community. Great coffee with great friends. And she wouldn't have it any other way.